did you answer the question about Mac compatibility? Tracy, I'm sorry, I must have missed the question. In terms of Mac compatibility, we have got a Mac beta, which we've provided in a closed beta to some customers. We don't have a lot of demand for Mac backup from our partners today, so we've prioritized some other things ahead of Mac. We do support Mac though, so long as you've got if it's a heterogeneous environment, if there's a Windows machine on the network, then the software will talk to the Mac environment or Linux or Unix through its NFS capability to back up the data exposed on those devices. So if it's a fully Mac environment, then we're out of luck. But if it's a combined environment, then you can definitely use this technology. Woody Longacre says, can this webinar be viewed again, i.e. is it being recorded? Woody, it is being recorded, and you'll get an email in the next 24 hours with a link to the video of the webinar that will be published. But also, if you go to our website and you click on the Resellers tab, you'll see a link in the top nav that says webinars, and from there you can access all of the previous webinars we've done, and including this one, which will be up tomorrow. All right, we've got a small poll here that I'm just going to launch. Hopefully we can get some feedback from the people here today, and I'll continue to answer questions. James Snyder says, you mentioned managed services. Where can we find out about the capabilities of your managed services? James, best people to talk to would be to talk to one of our partner specialists and to ask about our Blue Sky Complex Environment Support Program. And that's a team of support engineers who are designed just to work for our partners and to do all of the labor associated with online backup deployment. So our guys will, for example, if you've got a customer and say they've got an Exchange server, our Blue Sky CES team, they'll log into that Exchange server, they'll set up the backup, they'll do the baseline backup, they'll monitor the health of the backup, and they'll report to you, James, at every step of the way what they're doing. They become an invisible extension of your IT organization, that your customer thinks they're part of your organization, but they then obviously understand all the best practices and all the quirks and tricks that you might come up against in different environments. So it's an extremely powerful resource that we give to our Tier 1 partners. That's the SOS Blue Sky CES, or Complex Environment Support offering. Jay Evans Jr. asks, if I sell this service to my clients, does SOS take care of implementation and setup and support without my input? Oh, so Jay, I think I was just talking to that very point. So with Blue Sky CES, we do exactly that. Our team does the full deployment end-to-end, monitors and manages that deployment as well, and reports back to you on the status. Hope that answers the question there, Jay. Woody Longacre, are there fees, costs to become a partner? So Woody, there's different partner offerings, and in fact we've got a brand new offering that we've launched this month called Easy 500, where for just under a monthly fee structure, you pay month to month and you get 500 gigabytes in our cloud that you can then petition up and sell to your customers. So ask your partner consultant about Easy 500 and we can get you launched within 48 hours. So we can have a fully white labeled solution, Woody Longacre Online Backup, ready 48 hours from now for the market. Chris Wilson says, how long does it take me to set up a new user? Is it something I can log into the admin console and add them in a matter of minutes, or is it a more complex process? Yes, Chris. So if you remember about 10 minutes ago, I was showing the reseller portal. And you can see that again by going to our website, clicking on resellers, and then clicking on the reseller portal button at the top. You'll see there's a full user provisioning system built into that portal. So you can provision accounts on demand in real time. It's extremely simple for you to do that. You don't need to interact with anybody at SOS. You can, of course, if you choose to, but that's available for you there in real time on demand. Kenneth Hostetler, I hope I'm saying that correctly, asks, will SOS do a complete system backup that can be restored to a new hard drive in the event of a mechanical hard drive failure? Not just data, but OS and program files also. Kenneth, we don't recommend you use SOS for bare metal recovery. The local backup system of SOS will do that, but it's not supported formally by us. So we've got some people who use that technology, but we don't promote SOS as a bare metal recovery system. Justin Gatlin asks, I should go back up a step and say the reason we stopped doing that is ever since Windows Vista, Microsoft has built system imaging capability into the operating system. We recommend customers use the built-in Microsoft imaging capabilities, Backup and Restore Manager on Vista, Win 7, and the Win 2K server editions, and use SOS to back up those disk image files. Justin Gatlin says, I watched the webinar's PowerPoint, but due to some unrelated problem was not able to listen to the audio. Will this audio be made available online in the webinar section? So Justin, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but yes, the audio will be available. There we go. Terry Kinney asks, someone asked about Active Directory and disaster recovery that I didn't hear answered. Does SOS backup and restore Active Directory components? So Terry, again, similar approach. Wherever Microsoft has a backup tool, we recommend using it. So on Small Business Server, which the question was about SBS, when using SBS, we recommend you use the built-in backup tool for SBS and then back up that data using SOS offsite. Now again, the SOS team can handle that all for you. Our Blue Sky CES team would handle all of that for you. So normally, in customer deployments that involve any sort of complexity, a partner would pull in the Blue Sky CES team and let CES handle the full deployment and then the application lifecycle management. Okay. All right, well, we're a little bit past the hour. I'm happy to stick around to take any other questions that you might have. Otherwise, thank you very much for your participation. This has been a really lively audience, and we love that. We really get a lot out of this. We've got one request for everybody who's still here, and this is really important to me, is what topics would you like to see covered in future webinars? So the questions really I have for you all, there's still 41 of you present, is what topics would you like to see covered that haven't been covered? That's firstly. Secondly, what is stopping you from becoming an online backup reseller today? What is it? Is it you're not sure of the market? You're worried about the cost? You're still doing technical evaluations? Really interested. So the question is, what's stopping you from becoming a partner? It's one question. And the other question is, what topics would you like to see covered in future webinars? And we do these surveys from time to time, and we'll have upcoming webinars on precisely topics that people request. So if I can pick on some of the people who've been very talkative throughout this, Ken Ryan and Philip Walker and Chris O'Brien and Tracy Casimir-Cree and Fred Hurley, Ricky Wilson. What topics would you like to see covered in future webinars? And what's preventing you from becoming a partner today? Fred Hurley is suggesting more screenshots on the partner portal. Okay, Fred, we can definitely do that. And you can see that by going to the website, by the way. Kevin Watkins, more complete comparison with competitors. Okay. Tracy Casimir-Cree, I have no capital to invest and need to see what all my options are. Okay, Tracy, you should talk to our partner delivery team about, our partner consultants about an easy month-to-month partnership offering with SOS. Philip Walker, cost and ROI answers are key. So Philip, give me some specifics. What sort of questions would you like to see answered? Jasmine Ward would like to see more about managed service solutions. Jasmine, could you expand on that for me, please? What are you talking about specifically there? Ricky Wilson, maybe more info on the Easy 500 program. Okay. Yep, that's a great comment. Ricky, the Easy 500 program, just briefly, it's 500 gigabytes of data in the cloud, full access to our training and partner resource offerings, fully white-labeled solution that can get you launched and in the market within 48 hours. So it's super easy to get started with, and it's just a month-to-month commitment. Fred Hurley says, never done online backup before, want more information on upfront costs. Okay. Terry Kinney says, first introduction to selling backup to customers, need to see if client base has interest. Okay, so Terry, talk to our partner specialist about getting a mock-up. That'll give you an example of what a rebranded product can look like. Fred Hurley, love the sound of Easy 500. Fred, call in and talk to one of our partner specialists. They can get you started and have you selling by Monday. Chris Wilson, like to see more information about how we bill us and the packages you offer. Okay, Chris, yep, I can definitely build that in. Chuck Wheeler, need to talk to somebody. Well, Chuck, we've got consultants standing by, so they're keen to put you in the draw for that Kindle, so make sure you remember the Kindle promotion code. Okay. Jason Gazdick is worried about looking at the costs associated with it. Well, Jason, again, I think an Easy 500 program would be perfect for you. That's an easy commitment that gets you started quickly, gets you cash flow positive almost immediately. Janetta Smith, great webinar, future topics, maybe a quick 1, 2, 3 on how I would get launched in the market. Okay. Okay, yep, that's a great idea, Janetta. Chris Wilson, is the Easy 500 package the smallest package you have available? It is at the moment, Chris, but our team will always do a custom solution for you. So one of the other things we'll do is we'll do a custom solution for you. So if 500 gigs is too much for you, talk to our partner team. Cliff Plank asks, I'm interested in managed services also. Can I log into the backup software from any location and restore a file for my client? Yes, Cliff, you definitely can do that. You can log into the software anywhere and restore a file. So remember in that story I told about Greg on the golf course, he actually did it from his iPhone without leaving the green. Jasmine Ward, remote help desk and online IT management solutions, if SOS offers or can recommend an online provider. Okay. Cliff Plank, you have an example of someone logging in via a phone. Could I do this for all my clients? Absolutely, Cliff. That's the beauty of the system. Jason Gazdick says, what's the number I call again? Oh, the poll is hiding the number. I'm sorry. I'll close that poll. The number is 877-896-3611. And that number should be back on screen again. So, Jason, call in and talk to one of our partner specialists. And remember those 3 things. The Kindle, obviously. I think you'll all remember that. To get an ROI model built and to get a mock-up. That's a terrific lot of suggestions we've got there. Thank you, everybody, for that. If there's any other suggestions or any other reasons why you're holding back and stopping you from becoming an SOS partner immediately, I really want to know those so that in future webinars we can specifically talk to those topics. Jay Evans Jr., for security purposes, if I can access all my info, what happens if for some reason that info got compromised? Could a potential hacker gain access to all my clients' info? So Jay, there's different ways of setting up your security on your account, so you can certainly set it up with more security than just having one account for all your customers. If you did set it up like that, then yeah, it's possible that you could unfortunately have a data breach incident. So you've got to control the credentials, your access credentials, very well. We recommend that you change the password weekly, and there's all sorts of best practices. It applies to anything. It applies to firewall passwords or VPN connections, etc. So there's a security management element of this that has to exist in your environment as well. But that's pretty standard. I mean, if you've got my online banking details, you could log into my online bank account, God forbid. Not for a minute suggesting that you would do that, Jay. We're out of questions. If we've got any other questions or comments or suggestions for improvement, that'd be really appreciate the feedback. That helps me enormously. Jay says he'll contact someone soon. Terrific, Jay, and if you like, we can have somebody call you, but we won't. We generally don't do that. We generally we'll send an email out, and that'll be your next point of contact from us. You get an email with a link to the webinar video and all the contact details. Jay also says, great webinar. Thanks, Jay. We like to hear positive feedback. Okay, well, we might